Welcome to Watch What Crappens. To get our videos as soon as they're released instead of waiting for a week, head over to our Patreon. That's also where you'll find our bonus episodes and our Discord community. We love you guys. Well, hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all the things we love to talk about on your brovs. I'm Ronnie. That's Ben. Hello, Ben.
Hi, Ronnie. How's it going?
God. Everybody, welcome. Very special day today. It's the first episode of Bravo's Wife Swap, the Real Housewives edition. Dun, dun, dun. You want to watch this on video? Do it at Patreon, okay? That's where you get all our videos, Crappens on Demand. Also, we do bonus episodes over there. This week, we just had a little talkie bonus, caught up with each other's real lives and stuff. We do trailer trashes. We have one for Southern Charm, where we trash a trailer. That's fun. Go over there for all that good stuff, and thanks to everybody who's there. But today is Wife Swap. How'd you feel, Ben?
I liked it a lot. I was really not looking forward to it. I have to say, I didn't like when I saw the announcement about the show months ago. Then when the trailer came around, I also was not enthused. And I was like, oh my God, this is just be some scripted bullshit that we're going to have to sit through. And I really was not looking forward to it. And then I watched the episode. I was like, I love it. It's so good. I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. What did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was really fun too. My niece is in town, so she was watching it with me. And even she was cracking up. And after she said, Uncle, do you have any more screeners to watch? I was like, wow, that has never happened. When a kid is like, can I get more of this? You know, she watched both Salt Lake City and this together with me. And she's like, do we get more? Yeah.
Reaching Gen Z is so impressive. Look at that, wife swap. Now, I really enjoyed this episode. I think a lot of it had to do with Angie. I think Angie's a really endearing lead for this sort of show, because as much as Angie pops off and once she gets activated, she just sort of doesn't shut up. She also is able to display an immense amount of warmth, both on Salt Lake City and on this show. And I think that the warmth that she shows is really, it's really lovely. And so there was a huge amount of sweetness in this episode. And the question is, will that sweetness still be there with the likes of Melissa Gorga and Emily Simpson and Wendy Osefo? I am not sure. So I think this is a really strong one to begin with.
I think you're right. I think those are tall orders for warmth. All of those are tall. I think Melissa will probably come off the best compared to the others. I think we might be in trouble with Emily Simpson. I think the other families may be in trouble with Wendy Osefo and Emily Simpson. Yeah. But yikes.
Yeah. I think Melissa's actually going to do well. I think Melissa will have a very nice episode, but the Emily Simpson, I still don't even know why they chose Emily Simpson for this show. Maybe it's because anything. It must be just because Shane is just so generally unpleasant that sticking some lady with Shane will be kind of funny to watch. But,
right. I think she probably has a husband casting thing going on, just like Melissa Gorga does, because even when they show in the previews the Melissa Gorga thing, they're really showing Joe Gorga with a wife, Yeah. That's what we see in the previews. So, yeah. So we'll see. But we start in glamorous city, Salt Lake City, Utah, at Angie's, which they make seem like this big, bustling city, which Salt Lake City is not some, little shithole. It's a nice city, but it's just funny how the big city, Salt Lake City.
I know. So Electra is watching Angie, and she's like, what are you doing? She's like, cleaning. And Sean's like, she's re-cleaning what I've already cleaned. Ha, 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 ha.
Yeah, Mom, everything was already clean. It's already clean, Mom. It's like, is it though? Am I OCD, or am I just a person that has a gift of making things perfect?
Well, it's a gift most of the time, except for those times when you just want to go to sleep and she's vacuuming your forehead. That I don't like so much.
So do you think Angie doesn't have cleaning people, or do you think she's one of those people who has cleaning people and cleans before they come and cleans after they come as well, because they didn't do things right?
She probably does that. Yeah. I feel like Angie definitely cleans. I don't think this was a bit that she was doing for the show. I definitely get the sense that Angie is down there steaming clothes every single day. I think she loves it.
Yeah, it's her thing. So we meet the family, and she tells us, it takes a lot for me to keep the house running the way it does. I love to cook. I love to keep my home perfect. I'm hustling from sun up to sundown. Being the bossy Greek wife that I am, Sean sometimes doesn't do things the way I like. So I just get in there and I do it myself. Let's see an example of that. Sean, can you try to make your breakfast better? Here's how I like to do it, buddy. She's like, gets in there like she's the mom. It's like, here, let me show you a tip. I'm sure she really showed him this tip every day.
You know it, because he's just trying to get an egg out of the pan. And he's like chasing it around with a spatula. She's like, here, let me show you. Lift up the pan and tilt it. And now the egg comes out. He's like, oh, wow, I didn't even think about that. That's okay. I show you every single morning. Every morning.
I just wish I could get a nonstick pan that actually worked like that. I was most impressed in this whole episode by that nonstick pan, because I've never had a pan that works like that. Ever.
I'll tell you
I've had a lot of pans that say they work like that, but none of them actually do. That egg just came sliding right the hell out of there.
Sliding. I have a ceramic pan. I finally decided to, I'm trying to move away from the Teflon. And so I've played around with some ceramic, and I have to, those ceramic pans, those things go flopping all over the place. They are very non-sticky. But the problem is that the non-stick goes away much faster than on a Teflon. But someone told me that you just have to start thinking of nonstick pans kind of like as a consumable. Don't spend a lot of money on them. Get something that's cheap that you'll replace every 9 months. And you just have to accept that you use it until it's used up, and then you spend another $20 and you get another pan. And that's been very helpful for me. So I say get a cheap ceramic pan.
There you go.
That was way more information than you needed. Or
that's a good theory. I actually do have a very good nonstick. It's just not as slidey in this one. I mean, this one was just impressive. This was like a gold medal winner of pans. So Sean's like, sometimes she starts to give a little direction, and I guess you can feel like a little micromanagement happens. Oh, Sean. Why is this show trying to convince me that Sean is one of the sloppy dumb husbands? I'm never going to believe that. No one with muscles like that. And I saw him at BravoCon a couple of years ago. I mean, when I tell you this guy is smooth as hell, I mean, literally waxed from head to toe, perfectly coiffed. He had a big Louis Vuitton bag that he was carrying around, really tight, perfectly fit, tailored clothes. I mean, smells good, perfect muscles. I mean, this guy's anal as hell too.
Yeah. So, but we see Angie micromanaging Elektra. She's like, go put on sunscreen. No boys in the chat. Go pet your horse. All right. Now clean up your bed. All right, rinse it off. Okay, I see the green goop. Look out for that. She's just every little thing she's on Elektra for. Elektra's like, oh, mother. So Sean's like, some people run on the treadmill. Some people run their mouth. Well, I haven't had a facelift. It's because I have to talk all day, and that's why my face is tight. Ha, 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 ha.
So then we see her looking at some sunglasses. And she's like, I've always loved fashion. It makes me feel expensive. And Electra's like, yeah, one time I saw a bill for a $12,000 dress. She goes, yeah, that was a Schiaparelli. Is that how you say that? Schiaparelli?
I think so.
Schiaparelli?
I thought it was kind of stupid. It was stupid, mother. Stupid Schiaparelli. More like Shitarelli. Mother.
Okay, Electra, you're about to get spanked with a fly swatter on your face. You're lucky you're not my daughter. I would wooden spoon you on the teasy, young lady. Better watch your smart mouth.
I feel like I'd be closer with my mom if she would just tone it down a little bit. Oh, you mean cleaning your room every 5 seconds? If she just stopped cleaning your room, yeah, I'm sure you'll be a lot closer to your mom. You just have to step over the piles of dirt you're leaving behind, Elektra.
Yeah. She pushes boundaries with me a little bit. She's like, yeah, she needs to tone it down. Well, Elektra tells me to chill, but she's like, Mom, chill. But if I chill the F out, our lives would probably fall apart.
I don't feel like Angie has any chill. The struggle for her is just being able to just kind of sit together and hang out as a family. For me, that's precious time. So, let's get back to that. So then Elektra asks Angie to get some boba, and Angie's like, I can't have boba. I must do laundry. I must steam things. No time for boba. All work, no play. Makes Angie someone who wants boba very badly.
He's like, God, I guess we'll wait for you to get boba. Ugh. It's like, I'm doing wife swap because I don't feel like Sean and Elektra appreciate me. I want them begging me back. I just want them begging me, like groveling. I want the mother that moves in here to choke on boba. I want her to choke on it.
Speaking of which, now let's go over to Chalice, Idaho, where we see this dad, and he is telling his kids to rake something so that they can plant some onions. And there's dogs, and it's basically like this homestead with three sort of they're not shabby buildings. They're just very much like homemade buildings.
I thought it actually looked kind of nice. I was like, wow, this is actually kind of nice house for something you probably bought on Amazon and put together yourself. You know, like I think it looks nice. I love the green, love the siding. So we meet Lindsay, who's the mom of this family. Now, Lindsay has like a weird ponytail on the top of her head type thing.
Top knot.
And she talks like Bronwyn from Salt Lake City. Did you notice she has the same exact voice as Bronwyn from Salt Lake City? It was weird to me, like kind of a condescending voice.
Yeah, and there were certain like kind of mannerisms that reminded me of Whitney too. But like that, I could not stop with that, like looking at that top knot. For some reason, it was driving me nuts. I know when we did our trailer trash of this show, I said it reminded me of the dog on Animal Crossing. There's like the dog receptionist that gives you an announcement every time you turn on the game. There's like a little dog with a top knot, and all I see is that dog. And so I just can't stop looking at the top knot. I was like, please get rid of the top knot.
Yeah, so she's like, wow, living off the grid, that's an ancestral way of life. And it's what's important to me. I'm Lindsay, and I love ancestral things. This is Tanner. He looks like MJ's husband, Tommy. They're getting a divorce, which is really sad. But here he is, his onion planting glory. Here he is.
I love when people say, this is more of an ancestral way of life. I'm like, if your ancestors were alive, you know what they'd be saying? You have electricity and you're not using it. I've been out there plowing this thing with a horse for 5 years. It's like I take a bath and I come out and I got leeches on me. You're telling me there's a way you can take a bath without leeches and you're not doing it?
And you're purposely not
What's
doing
wrong
it. You know
with
what
you?
other people did in ancestral times? Not go to the dentist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, sometimes like let's stop kicking, progress in the ass. And sometimes let's just say, thank you, progress. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, fruit roll up. Thank you.
So thank you. So Tanner is the dad. So Lindsay and Tanner's like, my name's Tanner and this is Bridger, which is funny because there's no Bridger around here, but his name is Bridger. And we also have Wyatt, and then we have Hazel.
They're just going for every cowboy name they can think of. They're those people who are like, it's like super trendy for them to be off the grid. And they're like, all we eat is like animal liver, like the Brianna Culberson type of people, like the Brianna and Ryan type, where it's like, wow, every illness comes from not eating raw livers. So that's what we're doing. We're hunting our breakfast, which, everyone, my thing with Lindsay, just the way she spoke, I was like, you know what? I'll bet she ends up being more judgmental than Angie. And I was wondering at first if that was going to be true, because Angie did seem to be, I was like, oh no, Angie, don't get snotty. Like when she went to the house, she's like, ew, she had kind of a lot of that reaction. And I was like, oh no, don't go down this path. It's not going to work out well.
Yeah, but also like, it's a crazy lifestyle to jump into. Like she had a much harder transition than Lindsay did. So, but what I did like to hear was Tanner said that they actually had the standard American dream thing, that they bought a house, they lived in suburbia, and we see their old house. And Lindsay goes, it was a nice house. We had running water, which I think is like funny that's like the first. Normally people say like we had an open concept. We had a kitchen island. We had running water. It was a nice house.
We just got sick of shiplap. But no, it's not shiplap. It's like we got sick of running water. I mean, just the noise. The automatic heat. I mean, who's heating this? Am I right? I would rather just know where the match came from. That's all.
Society has this box that they want us in, clean water, gross. And we are definitely outside of that box now. And it kind of started when I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis and started going to the doctors, and they just wanted to put me on a pill. And I decided to eat anti-inflammatory diet instead. So basically because of that, they started growing their own food, and then you
ever heard of Whole Foods?
It's called turmeric, okay? You have to give up running water to get a thing of turmeric.
For Christ's sake. And she's like, and instantly I felt better. So we moved away from suburbia. It turns out rheumatoid arthritis came from a cul-de-sac. It's very dangerous, very dangerous. You just turn around. Your body just knows it's not ever going anywhere. Just around in that circle. It hurt my elbow. So we got the hell out of there. I'll tell you that.
Well, now we're here. We feel more fulfilled. I mean, the closest person is probably 4 miles away, which, by the way, I feel like if you're gonna be like bragging about being remote, I feel like 4 miles away is like not that crazy. I feel like you have to be like 30 miles away. But like, yeah, the nearest person's like 4 minutes away from our house. It's crazy.
I love that you're judging their off griddiness. You're like, you are
I
not
am.
off grid enough. Whatever,
Yeah.
whatever off
We
grid
watched it.
poser.
Hello, we watched like we did a dwell hello on people who lived up a river. Like that you had to access it via boat. You had to take a special boat to get like that.
Yeah,
is
she's
off
like,
the
what if
grid.
my husband has a heart attack? They're like, well, you better call a helicopter. How long do those take? I don't know. You have to get to the payphone from the river, so he's gonna have to learn how to drive with a heart attack. Drive a boat in the
It was
rapids.
literally like that. And now here comes Lindsay being like, our nearest neighbor is 4 to 5 minutes away. And then, it takes us a good 30 minutes to get to town. I was like, well, that's okay. That's more annoying. But we watched the Pioneer Woman.
That's normal.
We see Pioneer Woman, like her whole thing is, well, last time I watched Pioneer Woman, she was like, well, today we're going to town. It's Sunday, so we have to get to town before the Baptists get there. I was like, what? Huh? That was literally what happened. She literally called out the Baptists. She was like, have to get to the store before the Baptists get out of church.
That's funny. That's a true thing too. Sundays are hell in a really religious town because you can't eat anywhere. I mean, everywhere's just lines out the block, because that's when everybody's out.
I love you giggling. You're like, ah.
Because that's funny. That's so true. That Pioneer Woman, I mean, she's got her fingers on the pulse. Am I right?
I just will always remember. I saw that episode like 10 years ago, and I'll just always remember the way she turned and looked at the camera. I was like, Baptists. I was like, really?
So he's like, yeah, we're not tied to any type of power grid. We have our own solar system out here, and we have a composting type of toilet. Yeah, and we don't have any running water. Oh my God, do you win something for this?
That's what I was wondering about. It's one thing. Okay, I get it. Like, grow your own food. I totally support that. I think that's awesome. But like, is it helping the rheumatoid arthritis to like have a stinky toilet?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. Like I'm glad that everybody gets to live their own way. I just feel like
Every pot has a lid.
I want to flush a toilet.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one thing. Toilet paper took a long time to come out too. That's always what shocks me when I watch a Western. They like sit on a little box with a hole on top, much like this, and they poop, and then they use like pieces of like newspaper. That's what they wipe themselves with, Like toilet paper didn't even come out till recently. It's some things we need to embrace.
Yeah, I agree. We don't have to be ancestral about everything.
Yeah.
So she says that they've changed their mindset to having less and having more experiences in the dirt with our kids than buying them toys. And which I think is fine. I support all that. Even though, like, good luck, have fun not playing Mario Kart like the rest of us.
I know. Like we decided not to give our kids a Nintendo Switch. Instead, we got them a gun to shoot their own cows for breakfast. Like what?
Instead, they can enjoy the pure joy that comes from pulling a turnip out of the dirt.
No.
Which is what Mario does in Super Mario Brothers 2, by the way. You could be doing it on your Nintendo.
Yeah, but that's ancestral for Mario. That's ancestral.
Ancestral. I want like Mario to live an ancestral lifestyle.
So she's like, yeah, and I want to show another family that there's a different way of living, connecting to the land. And who better to teach those values than to a real housewife? I think they probably need it the most. Mm-hmm.
See, snotty. Real snotty.
Mm-hmm. She's very holier than thou about her lifestyle. That's what bugs me. It's like she's like, wow, look how not snobby I am. It's like she's really snobby about being not snobby, which makes her snobby.
Exactly.
She's
actually the more snobby person in this show.
Mm-hmm.
So the producer then asked the kids what they think Angie's gonna be like, and Bridger's like, rich and a brat. And they're like, why? Because rich people are like little brats. I'm like, well, you're the one who's being bratty right now, Bridger.
Yeah. So Tanner's like, yeah, well, what if you go to some fancy house, mom, and it's amazing, and you're gonna be like, why am I going back? Oh no, it's the husband. He's like, what if you go to this fancy house and you're like, why would I go back to that dump? And we're all kind of wondering the same thing. But
Yeah,
she's the one who wanted to
correct.
come to this place. So I'm sure she's
Yeah.
gonna come back with tons of reasons why her lifestyle is the best.
He's actually projecting onto her in that moment because he's the one who seems like he's down for this. He loves his wife and his family. He seems down for this experience, but you can tell he's really like, he loves the stuff he gets to do this episode. He's like, oh my God, freedom at last. So now it's time for the swap. So Angie
I
is,
had an actual diet fucking Coke. Can I just have another one so then to my kids that could be ancestral? Please don't take the Diet Coke away from me.
Electra, do you want some feta cheese? Are you not loving feta cheese anymore? Oh my God, Electra is rejecting feta cheese. What do I do? Am I even still Greek?
She's like, I've got a whole block of it in here, mother.
Oh, sorry. And my pillow is made of feta cheese. Oh, there's that too. Sorry about that.
I went to take a shower. You would replace my bar of soap with a block of feta cheese.
That is true. That is true.
Oh, good news, guys. I got a text. I'm going to Chalice, Idaho. Woohoo! And they're like, wow, looks beautiful. She goes, does it?
Electra's like, you'll be like a wrangler at some dude ranch forcing feta onto all the horses. A wrangler at a dude ranch. Do you think I'd be a fit?
It's like, you suck, Mom. You're going to die. You're going to die at a dude ranch.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, I've been an outdoorsman myself, but her idea of roughing it is the Four Seasons. Yeah.
Nailed it. You still think I'm gay? With repartee like this, do you guys still think I'm gay? Also, if you look at the kind of landscape of these two places, they're not that different, right? No. I mean, all the shots we see of Salt Lake City kind of look like this other place.
I feel like they're in the same time zone. So already, like, the show kind of failed. Like, you feel like you have to leave a time zone.
So Lindsay announces she's going to Salt Lake City. And so Tanner's like, oh my gosh, who do you think it's going to be? She goes, oh my God, I don't know. Lisa Barlow, maybe? Ouch, to Angie, because that hurt. But also, what kind of off the grid are you, ma'am, that you know the housewives of Salt Lake City?
Well, she looked them up. She was on her phone and she looked them up and she did, like, she read about them and then she decided that Lisa Barlow would be the closest.
You're not off the grid if you're on an iPhone looking things up.
Yeah, how about that? So Angie,
I don't know why I'm so defensive about her being off the grid. It literally has nothing to do with me. And I'm like, don't try and take my toilet. You get your goddamn ponytail off of my iPhone.
Because there's like a righteous element that she seems to have, like Angie's automatically gonna be a brat because she's rich. And meanwhile, the one who's more judgmental in this entire thing is Lindsay. The entire time, she's way more judgy. So Angie is, she's like, okay, Electra, you can love Mrs. Chalice, but you can't love her more than me. Okay, cuddle. Electra's like, I like Mrs. Chalice more now. Oh, Electra. So now they leave, and Lindsay puts herself in a backpack, and Angie has all these suits, and
the hat cases are really where it goes off the rails with Angie. I love that she brings a whole hat case. That shit was funny.
Like a mannequin too, like a mannequin head, right?
So good. She brought a mannequin head? I didn't even see that.
Didn't she have like a little mannequin head that had like the something on, like a wig or a hat on it, or I don't know.
Oh,
maybe
that's
that was
funny.
The hat case. But now they arrive at their new homes.
Yeah. And they get to arrive there without anybody else in the house, which I like. I like that they get a moment of privacy just snooping on how they live. I thought that was good. Did they always do that on Wife Swap? I don't remember how the original one worked.
I don't remember. But Lindsay is walking around Angie's house and she's like, oh my God, it's so perfect. What do I do? Do I take my shoes off? I got to figure out who this is first. Is that Angie? Oh my God, this is crazy. Like, wow. Oh my God, I feel a little disconnected from the ancestors. There's running water. Oh my God, they'll kill me.
This place is giving scary, like the hills have eyes scary. Which this is where I was starting to worry that Angie's going to come off as a total snob, because she was like, ew, everything she saw, she was like, ew. And she's like, wow, this is old. Yeah. Is this my husband or is this a piece of art? Oh God.
Because it was like a painting. She's like, is this the guy or is this just some random art they did?
Yeah, it was a picture of the guy fishing. And she counts the children and she's like, wife looks sweet. So then back to Lindsay. She's like, oh my God, it's just so fancy and so perfect. Oh God, is the floor heated? Oh God, how does she have this nice of a bathroom? Okay, it is nice to have amenities. Oh, a bidet? A bidet? I've never used a bidet.
This isn't very ancestral. The ancestors didn't use a bidet. Okay, I'll still be conscientious about the amount of water I use though, because I'm not going to abandon my values to live in this fancy house in a fancy world. There shall be no bideting whatsoever. So then Angie's like,
I'm washing my vagina in a well that I dig myself.
Angie goes into the bathroom and it's just, okay, instructions say pop socket to open the toilet. And then she's like, wait a second. Is there no running water here? What in the world? Oh my God, what happens? And she flushes it. And in this sort of, in a composting toilet, which I never really seen one. I didn't realize that when you flush it, like a trapdoor opens. It's like in like a Cold War movie where like the missile silo opens up and the missile is supposed to come out, but instead of a missile coming out, you just look down on poop.
Yeah, it's like a poop drawer. Like poop. You pull out the drawer and then your poop drops down in there or whatever, which means it's going to be covered in poop, that lid. And so I guess you have to like clean the lid every time you go. And I don't know. This just seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, how do you keep that lid clean? That lid was sparkling clean. They must have cleaned it up for Angie.
Yeah, and it seems like you would have to use more toilet paper to clean up the lid, to clean all the poop off the lid every time. And then how are you going to wash your hands? Like, do you guys have pink eye all the time over there? Like, I don't know. It's too much.
That's a great question. Yeah.
So she's like, yeah, one toilet and not having the running water for the toilet. That's alarming. I have a bidet and an automatic flusher, so I don't dare use the restroom for the next 3 days.
Angie got the shit end of this entire show. Like we've seen like the other households. And Angie was the only one who got sent to an extreme household. Everyone else got sent to a normal household. Maybe they're messy or maybe there's who knows what. But she doesn't have running water. Like, how is she supposed to poop? I'm sorry, pooping in this toilet. I can't do it. I can't. The ancestors didn't get everything right.
So then we see Lindsay going through Angie's closet and she's just looking at all the glasses like, oh my God, what are these? What does she even wear these for? I mean, I guess I could wear these dirt biking or mountain biking. I mean, God, who needs this many glasses? It just seems a little excessive. It just seems a little bit.
Wow. Yeah. Sort of like your top knot, huh? Talk about an excess. So Lindsay says, okay, are there rules? Oh, wow, it's so fancy. Okay. Oh, it's a scroll. Okay, I don't get this. Angie's like really trying to commit to her scroll bit, even though I know the show.
It's so Angie to leave like a callback prop. So she unscrolls it and it's really long. I mean, wow, she really wrote on this scroll. It's like tiny writing too. I was like, damn. So this is all the rules. And, she's like, welcome to my biggest treasure, my home, my family, and my grape leaves. So Angie reads her welcome thing. It's like in a journal type book. And you may have noticed that our home is unique and we live off grid. You may notice that. And Angie's like, well, I sure did notice.
Yeah, I did notice that. We hit the ground running at 7 a.m. You want to be dressed and ready for this is Lindsay reading. She's like, okay, we hit the ground running at 7 a.m. You want to be dressed and ready for your morning workout with Sean. After the gym, it's time to head to the salon. Huh. It makes me really nervous thinking that I have to get all dolled up to put myself into Angie's life, because part of our journey to move off the grid was to leave this life behind of what society tells you they think is beautiful. So I'm really not down with what society tells me how I should live my life. I'm more down with me telling society how they should live their life, which is very excessive at the moment.
So Angie's like, well, I hope you leave with a new understanding of what peace can look like. Wow. So Tanner, the husband, comes home and he's in a big truck. And it's like, hello, honey, I'm home. By the way, Angie is dressed crazily. We haven't mentioned she's wearing like stiletto heels,
puffy shoulders,
huge puffy, this big puffy outfit and these big sunglasses and all glam. And he's like, hey, welcome. So now she meets the kids and they're so cute. And
cute.
She loves Hazel and Hazel is a little star, I have to say.
Hazel is great. And the kids actually take to Angie almost immediately. Like they just, for all their talk before about like rich people are brats, they were actually just full, like their hearts were just so big and open towards Angie. And Angie, you feel like was really big and like really took to them like right away. It was
because she hugs all the kids, they all love her right away. And Bridger's like, when I first saw Angie, I thought, what the heck? What's she doing out here? She's like, oh my goodness, you all give such great, great hugs. And Wyatt, I love your hair. I love it.
For a moment, I thought, oh, Angie's going to give them all little haircuts because that's her thing. But I feel like there was some intervention. Like Tanner was like, do not touch their mullets.
Oh, no, you can't do that. You cannot do that.
Would have been great.
Yeah. All perms like she was trying to do on this season to Heather. Give her a perm because she had to practice. Just all the kids have curly hair when the mom comes back. So then we see Lindsay meeting Sean and Electra, who are just super exciting. It's like, hi, I'm Sean. This is Electra. Okay, well, nice to meet you.
Electra wants nothing to do with this. She's like, it's bad enough that I went through school all day smelling like feta cheese because mom snuck a block into my book bag and I got to come home to this lady with a top knot. But Sean's down with it. Sean's totally fun. He seems like he's having fun with this whole experiment.
And he goes, looks like you met the dog Celia. Oh, and this is Faust. And she's just like, I'm sorry. We don't believe in literature. It's not very ancestral. So I'd appreciate it if you just keep that out. And Sean's like, wow, she definitely has like a granola outdoorsy kind of vibe. I think she's like a VIP at REI, which is cute. That's such a rich person thing to say because REI is pretty high up there.
Yeah, that's a wealthy person's like understanding of what like wilderness is. REI. Yeah, Lindsay's definitely someone who goes to REI all the time. You can see it all over her. For sure.
Yeah.
She's like, so I'm sorry I sneaked around your house, your excessive house. By the way, I walked around. I love your room. I love how you are destroying your soul by using so many materials and wasting so many resources to sleep in it. So I'm just so happy. It's nicer than my whole house, but not as fulfilling. It's actually more evil than my house. Just want to put that out there. No judgment. Just want to say it.
Wow, a teenager with a room that's better than my whole house. Good luck over here. You are going to have a terrorist on your hands. Okay, great. Glad I got here to fix you. And she gets, and Angie's like, can I get comfortable and put on some sneakers and take my heels off? And so she does. She gets comfortable. And then Lindsay is talking about how she lives in a cabin homestead. And Electra's like, what's a homestead?
Oh, homesteading is like, oh, we're going to grow our food, have our own animals. We don't even have running water. We're just going to like actually grow our children to be better than you, per se, because they're just going to understand things deeper. And they'll just, they're going to like, their toys are literally parsnips. And that just makes them better people. Yeah.
Mom's going to totally want to come home. She's going to be so gross. You're disgusting. So then we go to day one, house rules. What'd you say?
I was just saying what Sean said. I have a question. Do you think that that Tanner slept on the sofa? I can't imagine that they have an extra bedroom in their house, right?
Oh, yeah. So they're not going to make him sleep with the husbands. Oh, my God.
No, but I meant like when he said this is the master suite, do you think he was like, this is where we normally sleep? You stay here. I'm down the sofa. Or do you think that do we even think that Angie even stayed the night, or do you think they put her in a motel?
I hope she had to stay the night because I feel like one of the only things I didn't like about it is that they weren't together long enough. Yeah, you really have to be somewhere a week or two to get the full effect. Like 3 days is nothing because that's only 2 days, really, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or 1 day because you can get there one day and then you leave another day. They could count those as days, because it didn't look like they only spent 1 day together, didn't it?
It was very, very fast. So yeah, Tanner gives the tour of the house and he shows like this is the heat source. There's a big wood stove, and then there's like a big jug by the sink, and Hazel's like, this is the water that you can drink. And she's like so excited to give the little tour and everything. And she's like, oh, okay. And Tanner explains that the water, they bring it up from a spring that's in 5-gallon buckets and it's down the hill. And they do that until they have 50 gallons worth of water in there. I'm hoping everyone's really enjoying my New York accent as I say water, 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 water.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, well, I'm wondering why they made this choice for their family. This is extreme. So she's like, okay, look, I better get my sunglasses on. Okay, is this all your property? And he's like, yeah. She goes, okay, so Tanner, where do I shower here? And he's like, oh, here's the tub. And it's just one of those outside tubs. It's not connected to anything. It's like in Salt Lake City when they had that scene with Jen Shaw and Heather.
Exactly.
And Whitney. Yeah. The tubs outside.
It's just a tub that they just have to sit in that tub. And I think there's some footage, I don't know if it's now or if it happened already, where you see, I think, Tanner or Lindsay bathing. And when they emerge, they have like leeches on themselves. And he's like, oh, these buggers. Oh, these blood-sucking buggers. Oh, my God.
Do they really?
Yeah, there was like a scene with leeches. They had to pull leeches off his hand.
Oh, come on.
Come on, bro.
Come on, man. I can take a lot, but that's crazy.
It's ancestral. It's ancestral, Ronnie.
God.
Do it for the ancestors.
Call social services. So Angie's like, wait a minute. I have to shower and wash my gorgeous hair out here. And he's like, yeah, that's the only option. Hazel's like, oh, the kids showering in there. Yeah. Or you can go to hot springs too. Damn it.
Like, So then they put on helmets. They get on like little like whatever
Four-wheelers or whatever.
4-wheelers or something.
Yeah.
And they go to another area where they have these beautiful views. I mean, it's a beautiful piece of property. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's full natures and views and vistas and rivers, and it's wonderful. And so they get there, and Angie's like, "You're a good little driver, Bridger. You're a good leader for us. Would you like some feta cheese?" He's like, this is the first block you've offered me." Yes, it is.
Amazingly, I can pull it out right from behind your ears. Whatever you're doing to raise these children is good for the Greek community.
She's a feta magician.
So they check this spot out, and the kids are so sweet with her. And she's like, "I love being needed as a mother. Those were the best years of my life when Electra didn't hate me. Just being around small children that want my attention feels really good."
Yeah, and I think she's giving Hazel like a piggyback ride or something like that. It's like really very lovely. And
Yeah.
Tanner's like, "Wow, I love how Hazel loves you already." It's like she never acts this way with Lindsay. Something about access to electricity is really doing it for her, huh?
And so she talks about how she has a teenager that's pulling away. So it's nice to, hang out with the kids. And she's like, you know what that's like, right? He's like, "No, there's nowhere for my kids to go." So, yeah. I would die for my kid to have an iPhone to ignore me on. But alas, we're rolling around in the mud together. Okay.
So then Tanner tells Angie about how Lindsay has like rheumatoid arthritis, and that had led to their lifestyle change and everything. And Angie's like, "Talking to Tanner has helped me wrap my head around their lifestyle more, but it wouldn't hurt if there were a Prada within driving distance. Ha 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 ha."
Look out for snakes. She's like, famous last words. "There are not snakes up here, are there?" He's like, "Yeah, a fair amount." She's like, "Oh, God. So then we cut to Lindsay, and she's like, "Okay, so what do I need to do?" So she goes over her rules, and she's like, "Okay, I got to clean." So Angie's rule is deep clean every night. Sean and Electra are watching TV on the couch. And she's like, "Oh my God, I just don't care if my clothes are wrinkled. I mean, I'm not going to take up my electricity for this. I don't even know how to open a dishwasher."
Yeah, because they do have a crazy dishwasher. You have to knock for it to open, which that is, to be fair, like that's crazy. I don't know why we have to rethink handles so much. Like every electric car, ever since Tesla, every electric car is trying to do something funky with handles. I mean, how many Ubers have you been in where it's like, "Okay, thanks for the ride," and you like can't get out because you have to feel along the wall for like a groove, and you have to push the right part for a handle to pop out, and you have to pull it, and then you have to pull it, you have to yank it, and then it opens. Like, can we just have handles be handles? I think it's okay to have a handle on the dishwasher.
I have one that you have to push the handle in to get out of the car, and it's just so annoying. It's like no matter how many times I take my parents to dinner, still every time they're like, "Wait a minute, how do I get out of this?"
I know. Not everything needs to be innovated. Like the handle's in a pretty good shape. I think we can just let the handle be. Okay, I'm with Lindsay on this one. Let's have an ancestral handle.
On the other hand, it is nice to teach people manners to like knock gently to get something to open. Maybe the dishwashers. Maybe we'll just progress as a society with a dishwasher like that.
I don't like the power the dishwasher has on me where I have to like knock to see if it wants to allow me to open it.
Yeah.
I call the shots around here.
So Lindsay's doing the whole, I mean, this is beautiful, but why do you need it? I actually really feel sad for Angie. Like cleaning her glasses is more important than sitting on the couch with her. And then we see that she has to, one of her things is that she has to go spray down her glasses every night and clean them. A whole collection of glasses. It made me choke.
I mean, no, there's a little something to that. Like, okay, so Angie's missing out on quality time because she's so busy cleaning. But what if like Angie loves cleaning? This is like her joy. Maybe she doesn't want to sit and watch whatever crap show Sean and Electra are watching. Like, sorry, she doesn't want to watch another season of, I don't know, whatever crap is on Netflix. And there sure is a lot of
Bunheads or whatever the fuck they're watching in there. So now it's dinner time, and they have prepared the tail of a cow. And so Lindsay's rule is eat off the land. And so Angie's like, well, bon appetit, everybody. Or shall I say tail appetit? So they start eating and he's like, yeah, we do it the Idaho way. Bone apple teeth. Okay, what a good girl, Hazel. You gonna try some too? And she's like, yum, yum, cowtail. And Angie's like, gross. She's like, so do you guys go out for dinner much?
Which is a funny thing to ask because there's like no restaurants anywhere in sight. It's like, well, we haven't been able to a whole lot because we have our strict schedule of not eating out. Like, why haven't you been able to get out to eat? So Angie is, she's like, oh, okay, well, this has a unique texture. I'm not sure how to describe it. Let me try. Disgusting. There. Oh, it turns out I described it pretty easily.
So she loves the kids. She loves Hazel. She's making a home video in the bed. And she's like, I've not had a shower, no dishwasher. Today, I just knocked on a wall and a raccoon came out instead of the dishwasher. There's no washing machine and there's no running water. I will be holding my number two.
So Tanner, he's like, well, it's the next morning. He's like, well, everyone's still asleep. This is how I like to start my day. It's good to see the big pink oh, look, I'm looking out there. And because he's up on like a hillside, he looks down and he's like, there's some sort of big pink shiny thing walking around the house. That must be Angie. Angie's like in all pink.
Watching her face watching her face on the patio. So now they show her how to fill water up. So they have to go hike to get jugs of water. And then Lindsay is working out. She has to go do the workout. And it's like a fancy throwing the big ball workout. And she's like, yeah, my workout is hauling my 5-gallon waters. And the trainer's like, some farm girl shit, huh? Yeah, well, get back on the bikes. No one here cares. And she's like, okay, well, I'm trying to talk and do this at the same time. And the trainer's like, yeah, Angie can bike and talk at the same time. Farmer lady.
And by the way, before that, she's like, when she's looking at the things she has to do today and she sees that she has to get like manicure and pedicure or whatever it is, she's like, can they be more natural? I don't really get manicures. So being judgy once again.
Yeah. Oh, did I skip that part? I like that part.
It was a minor moment where she was like, she was just being judgy about them, like not being natural enough. So Angie, meanwhile, has to haul this water.
It's fine if they're not natural, as long as they look natural.
Yeah. By the way, hauling this water up that hillside, that does not look like an easy task.
No.
That looks like pain.
No, and that's why God invented pipes in around 1940, 1918. I don't know. When did they get pipes?
These are good things. I don't know, 1997 maybe?
Pipes are ancestral. They've been around long enough.
Ancestral pipes. Actually, they are a little ancestral. I mean, the Romans had some sort of pipes, I believe. Yeah. Angie
and that was in the 80s.
We all knew first Debbie Gibson, then pipes. So Angie is, now Angie has to change the toilet, this godforsaken compost toilet. And Hazel's watching with such delight. She's like, change the toilet. And she's like, oh my God, wait, how do I do this?
Mommy does it. She's like, oh God, Mommy changes the toilet. This poop is so stinky. And Hazel's literally crawling up the wall. She's on a door just cracking up at her. She's like, wow, very humbling. Okay, Hazel, one chore down. And Hazel's just cracking up, which is making me laugh. So then we go to Lindsay. Okay, so now Lindsay has her new haircut, right? We don't see, she didn't get a cut. She just got a style.
Yeah, we kind of like, I think we breezed past it by accident. And Sean basically takes Lindsay to the salon and gives her like a little blowout, right? And her hair looks nice. She has nice little hair. Her hair he puts effort into it. It's perfectly nice. And then now that we're going to do the rules change, now Angie and Lindsay are going to impose rules on the household. So first thing that Lindsay does, and this is the thing I hated, is that she puts her top knot back in and she goes, I'm back. Is your identity twisted up in that stupid top knot of yours? What do you mean you're back? Can you keep your hair down for like what? Like, try to like be part of this experiment. Like, it's not going to kill, like, of all the things that I love how like the top knot is like the non-negotiable for her. It's like, no, it's got to come back. It's got to come back right away. It's not even like a glamorous thing that the top knot wasn't there. But the fact that she couldn't eat, like that somehow having the hair up in that little bundle, that's not more ancestral. That's not more natural. It's just a top knot. Why do you have to have it up
Also,
there?
I thought Sean was pretty respectful because he did her hair and he didn't do it crazy. He just
No.
he took her natural hair and made it look pretty and natural. Like he put a couple curls in it, but he just made it look natural and pretty, which is something that she would like. You know, it seemed like he went out of his way to give her something
That's the
that she would
thing.
like instead of being like, oh, I'm going to put some fancy hairstyle on this hick and see how she reacts. He was like, no, I'm going to give her something that she'll feel comfortable with and that she'll actually like. And then
Yeah,
she's
I
like,
felt like he was
"Fuck
actually
this."
sharing. I felt like he was sharing his life and doing a gesture to be like, well, I want to do something for you. I think this would be a nice thing. And she just kind of rejects it in that moment and says, I'm back. As if like somehow not having that top knot like had destroyed her, who she was as a woman. And now she put her hair back up there. And I just thought it was like, I thought it was actually like, I thought it was like rude.
top knot diss.
So mad. I was so mad.
Well, she's glad that it's time to switch things up. And she's like, yeah, it's so important to be connected to nature. Look outside. They're in Salt Lake City. They're literally up against the mountain backdrop. It's pretty natural.
All they do is ski.
Yeah. And so
Like her daughter
she's
rides horses. Yeah.
So she's like, okay, well, we're going to be off the grid tonight. And Electra's like, well, completely off the grid, like out in the house. And she goes, in your backyard. Okay. So no showers and our phones are going to be inside all night. No technology for the night. Lindsay's new rule.
Like, oh, great. So then meanwhile, Tanner's like, okay, let's go to the hot springs. This is gonna be fun. I don't know how many people have worn their Louis Vuitton sandals down at the hot springs. Ha ha ha. That's funny. Okay, guys, since we're going to switch to my rules, guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna go out to eat. I don't really have rules for you. I can't deep clean this house, even if I tried. The closest bottle of Windex is 6 miles away. So instead, we're just gonna go out to eat because I cannot have another meal of that cow tail again.
I cannot deep clean this house without a tractor. So she's going to take them out to eat. And they're like, oh my God, woohoo. And Wyatt goes, wait a minute. Can we get a drink? She goes, you can get any drink you want. And Bridger says, we've never, ever, ever ordered a dessert.
And she goes, really? She goes, Tanner. She's like, Tanner, what are you doing? Tanner's like, I can't. I have no excuses.
So new rule, family dines out. So then we go to Lindsay and Sean and she's like, we're going to chop wood in the backyard. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
What are you doing with that wood? You've actually just wasted wood because you've chopped wood to show that you're going to chop. Like, they're not building it. Did they build a campfire?
No, she's just like, look, I'm a badass. I can chop wood. And Sean's like, great. And so she takes Electra's phone and Electra's like, I'm not sleeping in that tent. We can't even fit in that tent. They're like teeny tiny tents. And so then we go back to Angie and they're out to eat. Now, look, one thing I think that Angie does that the mom is going to be pissed about is this. Because it's not just taking them out to dinner. They all get milkshakes to drink and sodas. That is like introducing children to drugs. I mean,
It is.
that is like, here is your first line of heroin, you know, or your first injection of heroin, your first line of Coke, whatever it is. Like, here it is, kids. And the mom is not going to ever recover from this.
But you know what? Well, first of all, the mom controls their access. So they're just going to, like, she will provide rehab, etc. She'll probably also scare them. Like, well, now your body's going to go to shit. So, yeah, got to grow 3 more turnips today. But this is, I think, also one of the sacred rituals of child rearing, which is that you pretend like you're going to deprive your children of screens. That's the whole thing. Like, no, we're not going to have a TV. We don't want our children to grow up with screens. We want them to like read books, and they're not going to read. No screens, no screen time for them. We just keep them away from screens. And then, congratulations, they go off to school and they come back and they're like, "Can we watch SpongeBob?"
Yeah.
They've all seen it. Or Miss
They're
What's Her Face,
obsessed.
Miss Jessica. Like the screens happen. The screens happen, and so do milkshakes, guys. You can't block off all the ancestral goodness. I mean, non-ancestral. And the ancestors would have had. Let me tell you something. If the ancestors had access to milkshakes, I'm telling you right now, they would have, for sure, had lots of milkshakes.
Yeah, and lots more flushing toilets too, because of the poopers that they're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
So Angie's like, this off-grid life is extreme, but the tomatoes will still be there. The compost toilet will still be there tomorrow. None of this is going away. So I think it's important for Tanner to get off the property and have some new experiences. So they love this, they're like, this
So
is
happy.
fucking amazing. And she's like, okay, guys, is this good? And Tanner's like, wait a minute. Are you guys good if we go dance? If we go on a date? Because she's like, you better get Nana. We're going out tonight. And they're like, wait a minute, Dad, you're going out with her? You're cheating on Mom? You're married, Dad.
I didn't hear the "you better get Nana" part because I was wondering who was looking after those kids. So that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, they're
And
all
Bridger's
upset.
like, whoa, you barely even know her.
Don't worry, I won't be cheating on Mom. I'm just going to be doing some ancestor-approved dancing. That's allowed, right? So then Lindsay decides to gut a fish. She decides that she's going to gut a red snapper in front of everyone.
That she bought from the grocery store, which is even more hilarious. Like,
She did not fish that out of the Great Salt Lake. No.
Have you
She's
gutted
like-
a fish? She's like, okay, here's how you do it. And they're just like, oh, gross. So grab it, cut it, slit it, pull out the guts. And they don't do it. So meanwhile, Mary comes over and Mary comes out and sees this. And she's
I
like, oh,
laughed. When Mary showed up just as she was pulling the guts out of the fish, I was like, these producers are so diabolical.
so funny. She's like, oh my God, what is she doing? Is she skinning a chicken?
It's like, it's a red snapper. You don't like red snapper? She's like, oh, I love red snapper, but no.
Yeah, it's like, no. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. She's like, yeah, we're getting a fish. She's like, no. And she goes, are you going to come for dinner? She goes, no. She goes, okay, well, you're getting the next one. She's like, no. You don't like red snapper? Not like that. Well, what happens if you have to do it yourself, though? She's like, I just pray to God that I don't ever have to do that. Is Angie doing this? Is that what Angie's doing where she is?
Well, we hunt for food. We have no running water. So it's fun. We love doing it. Mary's like, I think we need to go rescue Angie.
So she checks in with Electra and asks her if she's okay. And Electra's like, my dad's enjoying this off-gridness. I don't know why. God, disgusting.
But it is kind of funny, this like that Electra's like having such a hard time when it's been like 2 hours and you're just in your backyard. And it's gonna be like one overnight, like it's not like your mom is the one who's really going through it, Electra, not you.
Yeah. So Angie's in love with Hazel. So we go back to there because she's doing Hazel's hair and doing her glam. And she's like, she loves girly things, unlike Electra. So then Lindsay is asking about her kids. She's like, how do you think they're doing? And Sean's like, well, oh no, she's asking about Angie and Tanner. I keep thinking Tanner's one of the kids. So Sean's like, well, that's the question that's been on my mind for several hours. The other question, how's Meredith Marks doing? I love her. Icon.
She goes, did you get a chance to read the letter, by the way? He's like, the letter, you should read it. This the scroll, because there's a part where she mentioned all the work it takes into going into this house and sometimes not being seen and appreciated. And then I added a part that said, you wasteful pig. It was funny. I laughed.
Yeah, so maybe she feels like she goes all day and there's things she does for the family out of love. And, because isn't that what we do as wives and mothers? And he's like, uh-huh. Yeah, it just seems like, it's just so exhausting, Sean. And he's like, well, you've opened up my eyes. Maybe I think her nagging and perfectionism comes from a good place. Maybe I just need to let her know that I appreciate her more. Like, hasn't that been the plot for 3 years, Sean? You didn't need this lady with the top pony to tell you this. Get on it.
The lady at the top pony. So in Idaho, new rule, adults go back on the grid. So Angie and Tanner go to a bar for drinks and dancing. And Tanner's like, he's like, wow, Angie's the fanciest thing to walk into that place in a long time, because Angie's now wearing like a kind of like a
Angie's dressed
fashionable,
insanely, by the way.
like cowboy outfit.
He's wearing her version of what a cowboy would look like, but it's crazy. It's like a costume.
Fashion. Yeah. Just not one of those people said, is that a Givenchy boot? It's kind of a waste of money, honestly. Wow, I've learned about the real things in life. I could have gone to Walmart and I didn't. Oh, well. Her lesson is that no one cared about her Givenchy boots in the rural Idaho bar.
She's like, well, we need to let our hair down, Tanner. And I say that with respect because Tanner has no hair. And he's like, yeah, well, when you live where we live, you almost forget what city life is like in milkshakes and French fries. Oh, God, and parts of the cow that aren't near its asshole.
Is this city life for you? Just want to do a level set. He's like, man, those cities with all the stop signs and the 3 stores in them. Gosh, I forget what it's like out here.
So then
they go
back in Utah, the producer is asking them where they slept, and they were like, fuck that, we went inside. Okay, we made it till 12:45.
Well, I guess, I can't, I didn't like that Lindsay. Well, I don't know. I'm still angry at Lindsay about the top now because I was also going to be like, well, it's not fair to be angry at Lindsay for rejecting, but then they rejected Lindsay's thing. But the thing is that they had a tiny tent, and I think Sean would have stayed out there if the tent had been like bigger and it probably had not been stiflingly hot. But it just did not.
Yeah, they should have stayed in the tent. I think they should have stayed in the tent too.
Sean,
I mean, how hard is that? I did that as kids. We would go sleep in the backyard in tents and stuff.
Yeah, but there was no padding. They didn't do any padding to make it comfortable. So
live off that land.
I would have liked them to have done it, but they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't do it. So then, let's see. Angie's like, wow, I want to give you a little present so you can remember me. These are sunglasses with the Greek flag on them. And they're like, wow, what's Greek? And she's like, they look so cool on you. You guys look so cute. And so they love them. Kids love a gift.
They're like, could we get a Nintendo now? This is cute. Can we get a Nintendo? No, just Greek glasses. Lindsay does something I think is good. I like that she brings in a garden bed and they plan to make a little garden. I think that was sweet. I like that. This was a good moment for Lindsay.
Well, I feel like Angie probably already eats a lot of organic food, don't you? Every time we see her making something, it's a salad.
Yeah, but that house is like famously very sterile and like all hard angles and just white. And so it's sort of nice to have a garden bed in the back that you just grow something. It's cute. I like it.
Yeah. So
and it is appropriate that like the girl with the Animal Crossing hair then like also built a garden for them. Like she's pretty much just living Animal Crossing.
Yeah. So then Electra's like, I mean, I'd be okay to do this when it's 65 degrees, not when it's 94 degrees. But she does help her. And by the end, she liked doing it. And
they squeeze out the tiniest bit of growth from Electra because she's like, Electra, where do you want to put the oregano? There. Where do you want to put the tomatoes? There. Are you having a fun time? Yeah. Oh my God.
Aren't you proud of yourself? Are you proud of yourself? I mean, I was just so surprised how disconnected they are from nature. I mean, people who go to grocery stores, disgusting. I mean, they have a huge house and a tiny patch of green in the back. And now that they have this garden, maybe they can spend more time out there in that little box, walking back and forth, asking Electra where she wants to put tomatoes.
So Lindsay's like, so are you proud of yourself? Yeah, I guess maybe not as proud as when I won all those awards with the horse, but I guess putting oregano in the corner is pretty cool too. So thanks.
Yeah. So they had fun. Angie had fun, and she's really going to miss Hazel. And so she's crying, and she's like, oh, my God, I didn't know. And also she's sitting there without makeup, without her hair done. You see like the raw, natural Angie. And she's like, showing up in my heels and my mini skirt and looking all high body count. And the kids are probably like, oh, gosh.
She just throws that in there during her like emotional scene.
The kids are like, oh, gosh, who is this lady? But then seeing how hard they work to just make poop go away, I'm leaving a better person than when I came. And so she cries and she's like, I'm not even worried about my face. Look at me. What if you can see the wrinkles under my eyes? Who cares? I'm Angie Katsanevas and my eyebrows are thinner than anybody knew. And I'm fine with it.
I'm living ancestrally. Wait a second. This isn't Greece. So she gives them this sweet hug and she's like, you guys are the most amazing family. I learned a lot from you guys. Oh, you just think your way is the right way. And I learned this weekend that there is no right way, just whatever works for your family. And they're like, we learned a lot from you too. Any chance you can drop us off at the milkshake place, by the way, on the way out?
Can you leave us a hundy? Thank you. And Tanner's like, yeah, we hardly know each other, but God, she's so open to thoughts and feelings. And sometimes it's all anyone really needs. I hope my wife learns that. And Angie's waving out like, love you. And Tanner's like, love you. Bye. And Bridget says, Dad, how dare you say I love you?
Dad, What happened at that bar last night? He's like, I'm not going to lie, son. It's the most fun I've had in 9 years. And all I did was dance. So now Lindsay is, she's saying goodbye to Sean. She's like, well, I know Electra's at school, so give her a big hug for me and tell her bye. And just ask her again if she feels proud of herself for that oregano. Because that was a big moment. You have to admit, right? Just ask her.
Tell her thanks so much for the note I got in my wallet this morning. I opened it and it said, fuck you, lady. Get out of my house. It was really, really sweet that she wrote that herself. She didn't type it, so.
So then Angie comes in and she's like, oh my God, I love your kids. And Lindsay's like, oh my God, I love your daughter theoretically. She's so potentially very amazing. And Sean seems like he would be nice if he wouldn't stop trying to take over my hair. So yeah, I feel the same way about your family.
And she sees the tents and she's like, have we moved outside? And so she's like, is this my new primary? So she sends Sean out to grab her suitcases, which I loved. She's like, I'm back. Get my suitcases. So she talks about how that felt like forever. And she really sees how hard Lindsay works and, how much effort she puts into it. And Lindsay's like, yeah. That's like the dream we want, because all this other stuff, that was just distractions for us.
Yeah. Well, your lifestyle is really humbling. And then I thought when I pulled up, like, oh, these guys, these kids have to take a bath outside. And then I felt so bad for being judgy. And then when I saw you guys have everything, it was beautiful. Now, what do you want to cry about how you were judgmental about us? Huh? Your turn.
She's like, yeah, I'm really glad you saw that. Okay, well, I thought I'd be laying poolside and drinking margaritas or something. And then I get here and there's cameras everywhere. I have to be on all the time, cleaning sunglasses for 3 hours. So, yeah, I thought that would be easy. But sunglasses have a lot of crevices that people don't understand. And she's like, yeah, but I just want to connect more as a family. She goes, because that's what's most important. Yeah, that's most important. So it's strange to have you have to go so far away from your life to see that your daughter doesn't want to speak to you.
I know. Why is that? Isn't that hilarious? Oh God. So I'm so happy for everything that you learned from my family and how little I learned from your family. Yes, I needed to have this experience. So thank you. And she talks about how Angie talks about how this is like a wonderful experience and so many great memories. And Electra's growing up fast and she wants to spend more time with her. She just wants to focus on her family. She's never going to forget the flakes.
Yeah. So Lindsay is like, well, bringing off the grid's not easy. I wanted to cry too, but I did it. And, I realized I was able to show another family a different way of living to bring happiness into their life. So see, this is what bugs me about Lindsay. Angie is like, wow, I learned so much from this family. They're so great. And Lindsay's like, I'm so glad they could learn from me.
Yeah, exactly.
Such an
What
asshole.
did you learn? Did you not learn anything? Nothing.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting that she came out more of an asshole at the end, but at the end, it was still a nice show,
Yeah. Actually, by the way, Lindsay was by and large very sweet, but she was quietly judgmental and she did not learn anything from the experience. In fact, they give an update and they say 1 month later, Lindsay has never been more sure about her life on the grid, but every now and then she thinks about Angie's bidet, which is basically like they just couldn't find anything to say about her because she never even used that bidet. That's wasting water.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to the end of Wife a Swappa. Next week, I believe, is the Melissa Gorga episode. So
yep.
We'll be here for that.
We'll see how that goes.
And we'll be back tomorrow with some Real Housewives of Orange County. Thanks so much for being with us, everybody.
Bye. Bye.